man who's devoted his life to the sport of boxing, Advocate Kwababana, who is the Deputy President of the South African National Amateur Boxing Organization, SANABO. Mr. Kwababana, a very good afternoon and a warm welcome to Africa at Play.
Good afternoon, Neto, and good afternoon to your viewers and listeners.
Thank you so much for joining us. It's good to have you back on Africa at Play, and it's also heartwarming to see that you are not sleeping on duty, but there's work that's happening behind the scenes. Let's talk about your partnership with the Boxing Federation of Russia. This is good news to the African continent because we want to see boxing making it to the highest possible bar.
Yes. It's actually exciting times for SANABO. Given the fact that we have new elected individuals within the executive of SANABO, that includes myself actually going for the second time. First time, you'd remember that I was the vice president, but I could not actually finish the first term for various reasons. And one of those reasons is that we wanted to see SANABO where it is today, maybe not 100% where it is, but the direction that taking is actually going to get us to the next level where boxing will be the winner, where our athletes will be the first priority within our strategies, and getting closer and returning South Africa to the world stage. And we have started that already.
It's also good, Advocate Kwababana, to realize that boxing is not just taking or given attention at an elite level, but even at an amateur level through SANABO, things are happening. Talk to us about the new committee that is now taking the sport of amateur boxing to another level. Who are some of these committee members? Are you aligned? Because it's one thing having a committee, but it's another thing if you are going to take different directions.
Thanks a lot, Neto. And you will remember, Neto, that the issue of having a structure is actually a democratical process. So how we're getting elected is actually from the provinces, is the provinces that can see that who is the capable person that they want to represent them and to represent the objectives or to take care of the objectives of the organization. So we have few individuals that were actually introduced. We retained the president. And then we retained the Secretary General as well because they've done a great job. We've retained the PRO, and then there was a new. There's a new. The newbies is actually would say myself, even though I'm not so new. We have Ms. Fas, who's the Vice Secretary General, and then we have a new Treasurer General Mashimo from the Northwest, and then we have then we have the PRO. So the PRO is not so new, but what we've done now is to say we have seen the other expertise that one can actually can bring in terms of contribution within the organization, and each and every individual that has been added now on the executive has a different role, and more importantly, they have the capacity to take the organization or to contribute on the success of the organization. So that's where we are in terms of the new structure. And there's I would say there's actually a new energy. New energies have been introduced in the executive, and we could not actually wait so long. And we started to have resolutions that were taken, and we're actioning resolutions that were taken in our AGM and the council meeting.
If you have just joined us, a very warm welcome to Africa at Play. The conversation continues under the umbrella of amateur boxing in South Africa and Africa. We are talking to Advocate Kwababana, who is a member of SANABO and filling us up on the latest developments. Advocate Kwababana, please do stay on the line. We take a short break. When we come back, we're going to find out more about the partnership between SANABO and the Boxing Federation of Russia. This is Africa at Play.
Ukatili wa kijinsia unaharibu maisha na kutenga jamii. Hutokea nyumbani, shuleni, kazini na mara nyingi kwa ukimya. Lakini hauwezi kuendelea. Ukiona, ongea. Ikiwa unaumia, funguka, kwa sababu kutofanya lolote sio chaguo. Sikiliza vituo vyote 19 vya redio kuanzia Jumatano ya tarehe 23 Julai kwenye mijadala, ushauri, tamthilia, maonyesho ya elimu na mahojiano na wataalamu. wataalamu, manusura, watunga sheria na nchi nzima iliyoathirika na ukatili wa kijinsia kwenye vituo vyako pendwa vya redio. Piga simu 0800 428 428 ili kuripoti unyanyasaji au kupata msaada. GBV ikomeshwe na wewe. Ujumbe huu umeletwa kwenu na shirika la SABC.
Africa at Play with Neto, Neto, Germany.
15:22 Central African Time. A warm welcome to Africa at Play. We still have Advocate Kwababana talking all things the SANABO matters, the South African National Amateur Boxing Organization in South Africa, and their partnership with the Russian Boxing Federation. Advocate Kwababana, talk to us more about this partnership with the Russian Boxing Federation. How did it come about? You took part in the Eurasian Dauria Cup in Chita, Russia from September the 7th to the 14th. It's not so long ago.
Yeah, thank you, Neto. I need to actually bring across this issue. The relationship that we have currently, it's a relationship that was established by Mr. Mkwalo, the president of South African National Open Boxing Organization, SANABO. He started these talks about 2 years ago. And the intention has always been, we wanted to actually get to the world stage. So through his talks with the Russian Federation and our relationship as South Africa with Russia, it became easy for us to actually get that kind of opportunity. Now, these opportunities are not only arrested or fixed within the competition per se. There were already opportunities that were provided by Russia to say, South Africa, you can actually bring boxers that will stay and study in Russia for free. In that way, we are actually trying to assist you in bringing about a well-rounded athlete. So those athletes would have stayed in Russia, studied in Russia, and then they would come back from time to time to see their families. But more importantly, they would have been receiving high-quality participation internationally. This one is one of the strategies, one of the opportunities that are there, as per the agreement that Mr. Mkwalo, the president of South African Boxing Organization, has actually entered to. So this is one of them. There is many to come. We're going to be participating in such tournaments. It boils down well with us because one would understand that if one needs to really qualify for big major games, your Olympics and Commonwealth, or to do even well on those, we need to expose our boxers into better quality, and this is one of them. It's even better that we're going to be introducing these boxers at that level at an early age. For example, our boxer now, Ayabonga Meko, has competed very, very well, and it told us a lot about South African development. From time to time, we actually doubted ourselves. But what he displayed, it shows that at least at the elementary level, we are on the right track. We just need to get more opportunities to get our boxers to understand that they have what it takes to participate and dominate and win high competitions like the one Ayabonga Meko participated and won.
And talking about Meko Ayabonga's awesome participation, what about Wanga Oyisa? How was Wanga Oyisa's performance?
I am sorry, Neto, not to actually highlight. Wanga Oyisa also actually impressed us. Now you'll understand that these boys, they actually fought against Russia, against Uzbekistan, against Cuba. Now, the moment I actually make mention of such names, you will understand that they have a very rich history of boxing. Their boxing development is at the highest level. So he also contributed to our notion that we newly just received in our minds right now, to say South Africa is not very far from actually producing even an Olympian that will actually win a gold medal again. You know, we have had some medals that we won in the past. Definitely, it can happen again. It can happen again. So Wanga Oyisa also produced, and with the amount of experience that he gained, I'm very confident that coming next time, he will actually participate and actually give his all to win a medal for South Africa internationally. So that is not forgotten. He can never go unnoticed what he's done. And we are hoping that they will actually translate the same again and dominate Africa. But mine, personally, I want to see these boys at the Olympics 2028.
And talking about Olympics 2028, is it a done deal now to have boxing back at the Olympics? Because we've experienced some drought when it comes to boxing Olympics, and one is always looking at the African continent being able to showcase their skills and talent at that level of the games, because it's multiple sporting codes and it comes across as the biggest multiple sporting code event, Olympics. And Los Angeles 2028 is actually not far away from us.
Definitely, Neto, not far away. Hence now, SANABO has decided to actually come up with a strategy that is fixed at qualifying for Olympics 2028, and then for the next Olympics in Brisbane, we are looking at least bringing a medal. So our strategy is actually speaking exactly to those kind of objectives. Yes, we can confirm to you that boxing will be available for the next Olympics under the World Boxing. There's a new federation called World Boxing. It's no longer IBA that will be responsible. That has been confirmed. Now, for South Africa, for us to be able to qualify our boxers or to even participate within the qualification stages, we're going to be making an application. In fact, it's already in process. But it starts with our mother body, which is IBA, and then we're going to be putting an affiliation request to World Boxing. That being said, we'll be able now to participate in those tournaments that would have been identified as the qualification stages for the Olympics by the IOC under the auspices of the World Boxing. Now, one will understand that the qualification through to the Olympics is via Africa. Now, we are well placed as SANABO to say our boxers will do the participation at high level from the Zone 4 to African Championships at youth level, to SADC Games, and also to multi-coded sport games within Africa. In that way, our boxers will be exposed against the boxers that at some point they will need to qualify against. So we are actually on the right track. I'm very excited with that. And I'm more confident that our strategies are actually starting to align currently.
That's the voice of Advocate Kwababana, Deputy President of the South African National Amateur Boxing Organization, SANABO, talking to us about all things amateur boxing on the African continent and global opportunities. Advocate, as we say goodbye, I know you're a former boxer yourself, but today you're an advocate. Did you give up the boxing gloves to go and become an advocate?
Neto, it's difficult to actually even say that giving up boxing gloves is something that one can never do, really, because even if you're asleep, you'll be dreaming about boxing, because that's a sporting code that I realized, and I became a better person utilizing it. I'm an advocate today because of boxing. I did not actually have enough to actually be able to study, but due to the assistance that I would get at varsity, it was due to the fact that I got some sort of a half a bursary. The only thing that I had to do was to box, and then do my studies well. Hence, I decided that after I'm done with my studies, I will actually operate professionally. However, I will always be within open boxing, and I don't have any aspirations to go to the professional leg, or side of boxing. But amateur, it's where I am. Open boxing is where I am. And I'll reconsider that at some point. But at this point, I'm boxing, I'm open boxing, and I'm boxing.
There you have it from Advocate Kwababana. Advocate, thank you so much for joining us on Africa at Play, and thank you to the rest of the committee for the